Hello and welcome, dear wool and yarn loving friends out there. My name is Tak and
My name is Doris. I'm from Germany. Okay.
I'm from Germany too, but now I live in Albuquerque, and this is where this podcast comes to you from in Albuquerque in New Mexico. Yes.
Yes, and I live in Hamburg, and my flight goes back tomorrow morning. So someone of you are curious to see my shawl and my jacket. So we make an episode now for you, and I will show it.
Yeah, thanks for the nice comments. I know a lot of you were really curious and wanted to see what Doris has finished before she leaves. So yeah, go ahead, go right ahead.
Okay, I have in this little project bag, I open this and ta-da, my shawl, my Stoller with Schnecke on Ravelry. So it's almost 2 meters and it's cozy and soft, and yes, I guess tomorrow I take it at the airplane. I make a little pillow from it and I can sleep in the on the plane. Okay. And this belongs in this little project bag, what I sew. Yes.
Yep.
That's this. Further on, the jacket, you have to say the name because
Yes. This is, the pattern is called the Carbeth cardigan by Kate Davies, and you can find the pattern, it's a pay-for pattern on Ravelry. And as you can tell, another piece of speed knitting at its finest.
Yes. And the wool is hand-spun, leftovers, and Dagmar has a big box with stash, and I picked up my favorite yarns is green and a little bit orange, and I guess it's great. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Needle size 6.5 millimeters.
I
and
count on with 5.5. Cast on with 5.5 millimeters. Yes, and the I-cord I made one size smaller with 4.5 millimeters because with 5.5 it was too big and it doesn't look nice for me, so I choose one size smaller. Yeah.
Turned out great.
Yes.
And you already blocked it, washed it and blocked it. That's really nice. And
now
you said it got softer, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's got softer.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can show what you're wearing. We almost forgot.
Yes, I wear a sweater from Dagmar made it. You have to say which pattern it is and the size.
It's an Isabel Kramer pattern that's on Ravelry. It's called the Daylin sweater. And when I made this, I think I made 3 in a row, back to back. It's made with one of my yarns but it's discontinued. The yarn is called Mesa, and it's a silk merino blend. Yeah, I made one for Fiona and another one for myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the back side, it's like
Yeah, it's a garter
yes,
on the
and
back and has this nice feature here, and the back is a little bit longer. Yeah. And all the details, if you're curious, they are on Ravelry. My Ravelry name is Paper Dag, and I would love for you to friend me there so I can see what you're up to.
And the best is I can take it home because last time, 3 years ago, I wear it all the time when the weather is shitty. Like today, we have here a lot of clouds and rainy and
Yeah.
wind.
It's
So
really
it's
cold
really
weather.
cold. So I wear the sweater, and for the neck I have this bubbles of joy, and it's not, it's the wrong side for me. So I have to wear the right side. You have to say which is designer of this bubble of joy.
I don't even know.
Okay.
The pattern is called
No, it's-
Bubbles of Joy.
Is it on?
And isn't it? You
I don't
have
know.
it there under for the other one, don't you?
I don't know. Yeah, it's only this
You
one.
only have the chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can leave it off because that's incredibly loud if you when you show the pattern.
Oh,
on
sorry.
the camera. No, it's fine. For,
Okay,
for
okay.
later when you talk about it.
Okay. Yes, I like this bubble of joy very much, but I don't like, for me it's all the time I wear it on the left side because I don't know why. And so I love Stolas and I changed the pattern. I took from this shawl, I don't know the name of this block.
It's the same slip stitch detail from this one.
Yes, and here I took the bubbles, and this pattern is from Verily Claire, and the name of the shawl is Orbital Drift, but I like only the bubbles. The pattern between it is, so you maybe it's not so good. You have to look at Ravelry. I don't like it so much, so I change it, and yeah, I try it in another way. So I take this pattern, and yeah, I have time in the on the plane to knit along a long way home.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are using 4mm needles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot. I use 4mm needles. I have stitch markers, so I see every mistake immediately and count or knit back.
Yeah, makes it easier. I do the same, and this is how the shawl looks like. Finished, it's slanted how the pattern goes. It's really pretty. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the slanted is here too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very nice.
here it is. Okay.
And that's the yarn that Doris showed last time. It's Ziavel Sidewinder, and the other one is all some yarn that I had in my stash left over from other projects, or yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
You go on.
Yes, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna start with what I am wearing because you may remember this was the sweater that I designed with a lot of mini skein leftovers, and I made 3 of this with different length sleeves and different color combos, I should say. This was the pink and orange colors, and I never mind the neckline. I like it, in fact, but then when it gets too cold for me, then I just throw on a shawl. And the shawl that I am wearing today is made with hedgehog yarn, and it is called, I have no idea. No, it's not called, I
Anything
have
with
no
butterfly.
idea. It is called Madame Papillon shawl.
Papillon.
Yeah, and as far as I remember, I think I made it bigger, but don't ask me how. I don't know what I did back then, but I loved the pattern, wanted to make it a little bigger, turned out great, and of course, I wanted a solid color for this busy sweater to combine with. Yeah. That's what I'm wearing, and then, oh no, I gotta take this. I gotta leave this off to show you what I have also made. Remember, I'm knitting a sweater from leftover sock yarn held double, but it's German sock yarn, so the sweater is machine washable. I'm making this for my brother because our mother was the super duper sock knitter, and I wanted him to have a sweater from those leftovers. There were a lot from her, more blues, but I asked some friends, and so now I got more greens, which I think my brother will like more. And I was plucking away on this, and I looked up a men's sweater size and measurement, and I thought, let's make it a little bit longer. If he wears it to go look for mushrooms, or to in the woods, or to rake the leaves on his lawn, work in the garden, so it's warm. Well, this turned out to be a tent, and it would fit a giant, which my brother is not. I mean, it's not that he's kind of tall, definitely taller than me, but you're gonna laugh when you see this on me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I added a few inches from that measurement that I found online, and I guess I gave it too much. It is a dress for me. Yes, it is. But otherwise, I like how it turns out. So I'm probably gonna rip back maybe 4 inches. Rip back to maybe here or so, and then, but I need to figure out and do the math for the sleeves. No rush on getting this done, because I'm not going to be able to send it with Doris, which I thought I might be able to do that, but obviously it didn't happen because I won't knit 2 sleeves in one day. And that's why I started another new project yesterday. So you showed your bubble shawl. Do you have any other knitting?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's only that. So, my nose is itching. A daughter of a friend, she watched the last episode and she asked me to knit her a pair of socks. And here is a little project bags, and inside there are hiding socks for Mareike. So Dagmar is looking in her stash and found this wool, and I knit it with 2.5 millimeter needles until the Ferse, I don't know.
Well, you did do it once with the 2.5 millimeter needles.
Yes, I did it once, but it was too soft, and as I learned, it is if the, what's the name of this Ferse?
Heel?
If the heel is too soft, it
I would say loose.
loose.
The gauge was very loose.
It was very loose, and Dagmar told me if it's too loose, so it's damaged very quickly. So
You rip back and re-knit.
yes, and when I knit in 2 millimeter needles, what was very hard for my fingers, and I guess it was the last time that I made it, because it has to be very, very...
But it turned out great. It looks really nice now.
Yeah.
It's really going to be great. And she's going to really enjoy these a lot longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to last a lot longer. Yeah.
So, yes, I finished the Schnecke shawl or Stola, I finished the jacket, and I finished the socks, and I started this one. That's all.
That's pretty amazing. There were a lot of people who were really impressed by how much you knitted. Yes. And she has also helped me. Doris fixed breakfast for us every morning. She fixed, well, sometimes I did the coffee, but usually you did everything. And you made a smoothie for us, and the coffee.
A fruit smoothie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
Really good.
fresh fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just today.
It's very delicious. But we are, or 1 week we only had rain. So it was the week of the balloon fiesta. It was cloudy, it was rainy, it was cold. And so we are a lot at home, watch TV, and we knit a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did a lot.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and we don't make any trips to any cities. We were only in Santa Fe at the Wolf Fiesta.
Yeah.
That's all.
What we talked about last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And how did we get into that?
I don't know.
About what because I said that you made breakfast every morning, and that you also sometimes cooked dinner. And because my thing was that I was thinking, why did you, it's not that I waited on you all the time. It's nicht, dass ich dich bedient habe von morgens bis abends. Yeah, it's not, but still you knitted so much. Yeah, and in fact, tonight I'm going to get a special dinner again. I'm already looking forward to it.
A German one.
Sauerkraut with salmon and
Sour
creamy. So good.
Very delicious.
So good. Really delicious. Yes. But back to the knitting, because you don't want to be hungry for these yummy dishes. I also have a friend, my dear friend, who has been recently watching the podcast. He's also occasionally watched it in the past, but I think now he had a lot of time and watched it, but I have to give him credit for not saying, hey, can you knit something for me? He actually only said, I love hand knitted socks, and I wear them all the time at home, and I go through them and wreck them pretty fast because I love them so much and I wear them a lot at home. And so I thought, I gotta make him a pair of socks. He's actually one of the dads of my goddaughter that I've knitted for in the past. She's just 1.5 years old, so yes. And so I decided, since he said he's knitting, he's wearing the knitted socks a lot at home, I thought I'm gonna make him double knit socks. So I'm holding sock yarn 2 sock yarns together, and I am using 3.5 millimeter needles. And this is how it looks like. I've made this in the past for my husband and also both my kids. And it's really, I love how it turns out with the 2 yarns together. And what I tend to do, so I don't have too many ends to weave in, I usually pick one ball of yarn, and in this one, it's so great. This one was gifted to me by my mother in 2015. So it's really old stash, and these leftovers I'm sure are from her as well. I have 2 identical ones, and these 2 were identical, and as soon as I am done with this, I will join this. And like I said, I am holding it with this German online sock yarn. There's only one problem. I don't know his shoe size yet. So if he really watches, if he's watching this episode, he's gonna have to tell me what his, now I gave away the surprise. So, or I'm gonna ask his husband, that's the alternative. But since he watches the podcast, I may as well. He's probably gonna see it if I'm making these for him. So this is what I do for the instructions. A good while ago, I took these notes, and I keep a knitting journal, but something like this that I'm gonna repeat several times, I wanna be able to find it quickly. So it's laminated, it's on a hook in my office in the house, and it tells me the needle size. It tells me to cast on, for my husband, I cast on 4 times 12 stitches, DPNs, of course. Like I always, my preferred method for socks is DPNs. And then I wrote down my rows that I did for my husband, but of course, you can do any kind of measurement that you like until you get to the heel. I do the heel flap, and then I divide that in thirds and do the heel, turn the heel with short rows. And in this case, I divide the stitches up into 10, 4, and 10. And then with this heel specifically, I did 22 rows for the heel flap until I started turning the heel. Yes, and then I picked up 12 stitches on each side, and then I decreased back to until I had again 4 times 12 stitches on my needles. Yep, that's the socks for my friend. And you're gonna say, hey Doug, what happened to the yarn that you spun in that spinning episode? In case you watched that, I published that, and a lot of you liked it, even the non-spinners, because spinning is kind of calming, it's meditative, and you have the piano going, and it's just soothing. Even thinking about it makes me like, yes, this was fun. So I did finish the spinning, and I have these 3 skeins and one more mini skein. And I'm gonna tell you how much this is. But isn't this absolutely beautiful? The colors, I just love them so much. So this one was 106 gram, and it has 385 yards. So it's if you want to call it a heavy fingering or almost a sport yarn. Here it is 86 grams, and the third one is, I think, 110 grams. Yes. And then I had that mini, And last night when we had some friends over, I grabbed some 4mm needles and I started a little swatch, a bit bigger than what you've seen from me in the past at times. This one is, yeah, a decent size, but I'm almost thinking that the 4mm needles are a tiny bit too big. I could go down a little bit in needle size, but what happened was I knitted and then I thought, wow, this is really a little bit scratchy. I'm wearing this. I don't need a shirt under this merino sock yarn. And this I really thought would work the same. And it's a 70/30 BFL silk blend. Blueface Leicester is a sheep, a certain sheep, kind of sheep. And with the silk content, I thought it was going to be super soft. But then last night I thought, this is not really soft. I don't know if it's going to work. And then one of the friends that were here last night, she's like, Heather, my friend Heather, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It's so soft. She's like, oh my God, this is so soft, so super duper soft. And I'm like, really? I didn't think so. I don't know. So you get my dilemma. This morning, I looked at it again and I thought, yeah, it kind of is soft. I don't even know. I was very tempted to go to my bin with all my spinning fibers and maybe pull out something else, yeah, I have one bin that has all my luxury fibers, and so I'm thinking I may take a look and see what I find in there and see if I change plans and find something in there, or if I go back to this after all. I just haven't decided yet. I will have to do some soul searching. Yeah. And the last thing I brought to show you all is in regards to woolly projects is my triangular shawl. I have been just plucking away on this. It's been growing a little bit more. This is where I was last time. Come on, turn around, show your pretty side. Yeah, just a few more inches. Started that new ball of yarn. Where is it? Come here. Again, 2-ply hand spun, small, relatively small hand spun. I mean, sample skein, and I have, this is the last one before I get to the section where I add the lace, which I still have to pick. Don't know which lace pattern I'm going to use for that, and I didn't even bring you the yarn. Oh, I did start a new pair of Duke City mitts, but I didn't bring those either because you're probably bored senseless about those Duke City mitts by now. But whatever. Okay, and we have been sewing like little crazy people.
Yes, like maniacs. So it starts. This is my very old little pouch. It's well loved and it's damaged. So Dagmar sew me a new one, also with pin-up cowgirls on the back side with roses, and inside are roses too. And I have a little diary inside and papers and pens, and yes, so I have a new little bag for my stuff I have every day in my bag.
Purse, yeah.
Purse.
A bag for the purse.
A bag for the, and the purse is in the bag. Wow, yeah. Then I have got a second gift. It is a key holder. Ooh. love it. So in Germany, it comes on my keys. Yes, and I was very, very busy. We were at a fabric store, Hip Stitch, and we bought a lot of fabric. Because not all this is a gift from Dagmar for me, and I choose this on this side and the flower fabric on the other side. Then I have pin-ups with the swimming girls, hearts on the back side, little Frida, skulls, and sun, it's the same. Then the swimming pin-ups with a blue flower, backside. Bicycles, I have a friend, she loves bicycles, and pin-ups on the other side. For my husband, some trucks, camping cars, and what is it?
No, I'm just looking
Albuquerque.
at oh yeah, there is New Mexico.
New Mexico, Missouri, Kansas. I can show it a little bit closer. Okay. Little Fridas in blue with skeleton, and little Frida in red with sun. Little bicycle. Oops, little Fridas. So I made a lot. Bicycles and a very little one. So this was very, very, very quick. No, zero.
Yeah, I was sewing, and this was really fun. We had, I brought a lot of bags already to the yarn store at Nob Hill. They take them on consignment. So all of the Halloween bags that I made are there right now, and I also made a bunch of small, tiny ones, and I'm keeping this one for myself because I just love the fairy tale theme. And I got a gift from Doris, Frida, with those beautiful suns, orange and then there's a bunch will stay here for the studio tour in December. This is one of them, as well as this one. A little bit of a different format. This is kind of my standard sock size, and this is kind of like an oversized sock, almost shawl size. And then I also make pencil cases, which I used to make a lot of when our kids were little. And so I still have fabric for that. Just so much fun. Once you start making these, it's so much fun to combine the fabrics and look, what do you put on the inside? So this one is mine because this is the last bit of this flannel, which I loved this quality and the colors and all. It's so nice. Yeah,
little birds.
It's the very last bit that I still have of this. So these bugs are gonna stay with me. I love the fabric too. Yeah. That was everything that we sewed. I mean, a lot of what we sewed, but I also wanted to show you one pattern that I found when we looked for a pattern for Doris. I fell in love really hard with this one. It's called the Nutra Wrap by Sweater Freak. And if you think, Doug, that's weird, that's not you at all. Why? You're all about the colors, as you can tell today. Go on Ravelry and look at the project page for the pattern. This is such a stunning pattern, especially when it's knitted in colors. And so I had a really hard time to to not cast this on right away because I do want to finish. I want to finish the shawl with the hand spun, and I want to finish or get going with the sleeves for the sweater for my brother, where I still have to do the math and figure out the decreases. Did I ever tell you the needle size? Well, I will take you and tell you. Well, 4.5 millimeters. That's all you need to know at this point. Yes, that's all do I forget something? I feel like all of a sudden oh yeah, but I guess we showed everything, right?
Yeah.
The spinning, the sewing, the knitting especially. That's it.
That's it.
Yes.
So we are time to say goodbye.
Yes. It's not so hard for me because I'm going to come back to you, but not so much stories.
No, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks guys thank you all for watching. As always, grateful that you're here. And so until next time, happy knitting. Bye.